Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Uncensored
Welcome
and
back.
Unemployed. We are so excited for this episode in particular. This topic that we're going to be covering is something we're super passionate about. But before we get into that part of it, we're going to answer 2 questions that were asked by our followers. Emily, you want to take away the first question?
I would love to. What's the biggest dick you've ever had? Or taken?
Wow. Okay, so when I'm like in the moment, I don't like pull out a measuring tape
Yeah.
and kind of wow.
I know.
That question caught me off guard.
It's a good one.
But I will say that the biggest dick I've ever had, and this is crazy, came from an 18-year-old.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
he was legal. He was legal.
Yes.
And he was very much 6'5", fine as fuck.
The one I met?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
can attest to that. Didn't look 18, right?
No.
No.
No, not at all. He was grown.
But yeah, he was grown. And so was
Grown.
his dick.
Oh.
What about you?
The biggest dick I ever had was this guy. He was like a PE teacher or something. He's
What?
probably listening. Hello. And he just pulled down his pants and had this like horse dick. Like it was huge.
Damn.
It was huge, but he did not know how to use it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's the worst.
I was upset.
That's the worst.
It made me a little sad.
Okay, well that leads us into our second question. Would 12-year-old you be surprised at what you're doing now with your life?
I don't know if I'd be surprised. I don't think I'd be surprised. I feel like I always kind of just knew.
You always knew you were a whore.
I used to take nudes and
Yeah.
do like a 25 people plus group message and just send them out
Wow.
on like those texting apps.
I'm pissed that I wasn't in that group chat. So for me, like, I guess my answer to that question would be something along the lines of, I wouldn't say I'm surprised at what I'm doing because I was always very sexual, like at a young age. Because like I told you, like I was exposed to porn when I was like 7 years old. Won't say by who, but people that were really close to me, right?
Yeah.
So it was always like a very normal thing for me. And I kind of had this idea that I was going to be in the military, which I was, and I thought I was going to do that forever. So this is definitely very the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that the word is surprise, though. I would say
Yeah.
it's more like I'm pleased with
I'm
who I
chilling.
am. I'm so happy that, this is what I do for a career
Yeah.
right now. Like, you know what? Maybe in 2 years it won't be for me, but it's for me right now.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part.
I agree.
For sure.
100%. But yeah, I don't think I'd be surprised at all.
So, that kind of brings us right into the topic of the podcast, which is OnlyFans, why we started, how it's going, and the stigma behind it.
Yeah. So why I started? Well, I started like March 2020 when the pandemic hit, and I was over dancing. I was so over it. I had just gotten out of a relationship where he told me like all I would ever be was a stripper, blah, blah, blah. And I was just
Yeah.
like, I'm over this. And so I wanted to try out OnlyFans, and he wouldn't. He didn't let me have an OnlyFans. You know how that works. And so I was like, let me do it. And then it became a huge success, and I love it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be doing anything else right now.
So for those of you that don't know, I was married for about 2.5 years to a man that was much older than me. He's also the father of my child. Shout out Fred.
Hey, Fred.
Okay, so when Fred and I were married, I kind of brought up OnlyFans to him, like very like subtly, right? And he was like, yeah, we can take some sexy pictures of you. Okay, and I, like, when I first started OnlyFans, was very much like, just if I was showing a nipple, I was terrible.
Same.
You know, like I wasn't
Yes.
showing anything. And I never really started OnlyFans until I left and we got a divorce. When I left, I was like, I need to be able to support myself and my daughter financially. That's like all I could think about. It was like fight or flight.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about what people thought about what I was doing. I didn't really care about anything other than the fact that I had to put a roof over my daughter's head. And I had just moved to downtown Austin. If you know anything about that place, it's very expensive.
Yep.
I was literally living in a 1-bedroom, probably not much bigger than the size of this room, and I was paying almost $2,300 for it.
Insane.
And, you know, trying to support a little girl at the same time. I wasn't hearing all that, oh, you're a bad mom because you do porn.
I don't give a fuck.
I really don't give a fuck if you think that.
I don't give a fuck.
Because your baby daddy's watching it.
Exactly.
But let me not get to that part yet.
Not yet.
So I started OnlyFans about a year and a half ago. Started off, like I said, really slow. Wasn't really posting, you know,
Yeah.
much content. I mean, now my content is great.
No boundaries, as we always say.
Yeah, no boundaries. I post whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want. And that's,
Yeah.
the fans love that.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not like, I don't look at myself any differently for what I do for work. You know what I mean?
No, I almost like look at myself like, I don't know. I think of myself like, I don't know how to say this. I don't care what people think.
I wish I had that thing that's like, oh, what are they going to think? But I don't have that.
No.
And I think people have this ideology that, you know, your kids are going to turn out just like you. So let me like put that into context for a second. My birth mother was a prostitute. She was addicted to crack throughout all her pregnancies. And just very much an unfit mother. She's admitted that to me, you know, multiple times under multiple different occasions. And, you know, I've forgiven her for those things, you know, in the past, but I didn't turn out to be a mom like that.
Not at
You know,
all.
I was very healthy during my pregnancy. My daughter means the world to me. I would die for her. Like, I would never leave her anywhere and never come back.
Yep.
Just because your parents are a certain way doesn't mean that your children are going to turn out a
No.
certain way. But let me even elaborate more. So you can see like, okay, Joe Biden, our president, that's like as professional as you can get. And his son has a heroin addiction.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And not saying that it's anyone's fault, not
Right.
blaming anyone, but you can be this, you know,
Yes.
amazing parent and be a freaking politician, and you can be the superintendent of a school.
Yeah.
And your kids are still going to turn out the way they're going to turn out.
Like, you're your own person,
Right.
regardless of who your parents are.
And my message to my daughter is, you know, you may not agree with what I do, or she may be all for it. I don't know. But if she doesn't agree with what I do, not only is that her prerogative, but I want to show her that despite what anyone else says, do what you want with your life.
Yeah.
You know, despite what your kids say, despite what your family says, you're only here for a moment.
Yep.
And if you happen to love music, or you happen to love, you know, I hate to say it, but drug dealing, like, do it. If that brings you joy, then do it.
And as long as you're not like hurting anyone else, why
Yeah,
does
drugs
anyone
is kinda
care?
fucked off,
Well,
but-
yeah.
It depends on what kind of drugs, but we won't get into
Exactly.
that.
Next time.
But it's like, if what you're doing brings you joy, like I have a lot of friends that are artists trying to
Yeah.
make music, especially trying to come out of Austin. It's so hard to come out of Austin as an artist. And you'll have a lot of naysayers, like people that will just look at you dead in the face and say, stop. And it's like, but this is my life.
But that like also lights a fire under my ass to be like, oh, you say I
Right.
can't do it? Like, I'm going to fucking
It
do
does.
it.
But there's a lot of people that will go out of their way to make you feel small and make you feel like you can't do something.
Yes.
And for me, it's like, I don't expect everyone to agree with what I do, but I expect people to respect what I do,
I agree.
you know? Because let's all stop pretending that we don't know what sex is. We don't know what a vagina looks like. We don't know what a penis looks like. Let's just stop.
Like, we
right
all
there.
do it. Just some people do it on camera.
I know you're watching porn when you get off work.
Yeah.
Like, can we stop?
Who cares?
The stigma behind it is so weird.
It is
to me.
weird.
Like,
it's so weird.
It's so unattractive.
I feel like as time goes on, though, it'll get better.
Oh, I hope so.
I feel like it has to. It has to.
I can't stand, one of my biggest pet peeves is when I meet someone that may be interested in me or I may be interested in them, and then they make a comment like, oh, you do OnlyFans?
Yeah. Or try to get free content.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That happens way too much, y'all.
That is the worst. And it is the most unattractive thing.
Like, I'm dry.
My pussy can't get wet
shriveled.
at that point. It
I'm
cannot.
done.
And it's like, okay. I've had that happen to me so many times.
Yeah.
Hey, send me a video, little mama. No, and you don't send me videos
Exactly.
that I didn't ask
send me a video
for.
first.
That's like sexual harassment at that point. If you send me something that I did not ask for,
Yeah.
and it's not even censored, it just pops up in my phone and I have to see it. Terrible.
I hate that.
You're getting blocked and I'm not replying.
No. Ugh. I don't know.
You told me that your ex-boyfriend is subscribed to your OnlyFans.
Oh my God. Yeah. He's so fucking weird. Him and his stepdad. Yes. Not gonna name drop because the mom's.
You didn't tell me about the stepdad.
Yeah, the mom's probably listening.
Oh,
But
no.
yes, the stepdad's in my Instagram messages asking me for feet pics, and I said
What?
$1,000 just to kind of maybe. And
What?
he goes, well, we better be making our own video for $1,000. And I was like, sir, no.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy because when I first started OnlyFans, I thought that a lot of people were going to look down on me for it, which they have.
Yeah.
But the people that I thought were going to look down on me actually subscribed. Like, I have
They
my
all do.
old fucking drill sergeants from the fucking army
Oh, you
are
didn't tell me
subscribed
that.
to my OnlyFans. Like, if you wanted to fuck me back then, you could have just said that. I was of age. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was legal.
But
I have teachers from high school subscribe to my
Oh.
OnlyFans. Like, they don't even try to hide anymore. They're just...
They want you to know it's them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I love what I do. I'm not embarrassed in the slightest. And I think that you should feel that way about your job. I don't believe that we were put here to work for 40 years and just enjoy the last 10 or 12.
Let me just say this. We're on a floating rock.
I'm over that.
Why the fuck should you not be doing what makes you happy? Why, just do whatever makes you happy. Who cares?
And I know, like I said before, that sounds so cliche, but it's like, whatever you do that you love, like whether you're a stripper or a fucking trash man, like I said before, like if you love it, do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's your own parents that are like, I don't really see you going anywhere with that, or,
Oh, yeah.
And then you see your friends that spend 4 years at a university and can't even get a job when they graduate.
Or they're just not happy.
Or they're not happy.
And I just
Yeah,
feel
they
like that's
don't
my
even
number
like-
one
yeah.
priority is my happiness. And I feel like a lot of people don't think like that, which is weird.
And I will never again work for the man.
I'll never work for anyone.
No, that's what I mean.
Oh,
Like,
I thought you just meant a man.
And people love to be like, oh, well, how are you going to get a job with all those tattoos? But that shows me how small your mind is, because I'm going to work for myself.
Exactly.
I'm not going to have a boss.
And why does that matter?
No, because
You
it's,
know?
the stigma behind tattoos and
Which
all
is
that.
stupid.
Which is, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
But because that's a stigma, if you're a person with tattoos like myself, you have to adapt.
Yeah.
And I told myself, I used to have my own business, my fitness company. I don't care what it is. I'm always going to find a way to work for myself.
Yep. There's so much money to be made that's it's not even an option.
Exactly. And I'm glad that we see eye to eye on that, because I am so fortunate to meet someone that, sees kind of life out of the same lens that I do.
It's very refreshing.
Yeah, because I thought I was going crazy for a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought that I just didn't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah,
and
I was the problem.
Yeah, but
I'm not.
no.
I'm never the problem.
Period.
So how do you feel about girls that are like, oh, if I made an own, I see on TikTok, girls are like, if I made if I made an OnlyFans, I'd make so much money. Like, do it.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. It's just the way they're saying it. I'm like, well, then do it.
I mean, I didn't really start making a lot of money on OnlyFans until like the last 8 months. My first few months were really slow because I didn't know what I was doing. And people don't realize that it's not easy.
It's not.
It's very much a full-time job, or whatever that TikTok says. You know, it's like it's a full-time job. I just said it again, but it really is.
It is.
There's so many hours that you spend, you know, coming up with ideas for content and collaborating with other creators and keeping your sexual health good all at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like people don't talk about that enough.
Like, I'm very careful with who I collaborate with. And bitch, it is not even the OnlyFans bitches that really be fucking. It's those bitches on Instagram with like 167 followers, no nudes, that be fucking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it's getting to a point for me, which this is kind of dark. But it's like, bitch, I don't even know how to enjoy sex if I'm not working. Like, it's like all work to me now.
Dude, remember yesterday I texted you and I was like, I'm about to masturbate, like, without filming it. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just excited to just masturbate by myself.
And I don't have to be on camera.
And, like, not pretend, but, like, just, you know.
Like, I can be ugly if I want to. Like, I won't have that one fan commenting, oh, you look like shit.
Oh, my God.
Like...
That did happen. That did. I sent a video of myself fucking myself with my dildo, and this with no makeup, and this guy goes, "Wow, ... You look like shit." And I was like, "At least you bought the video." I mean, really.
I cannot with that.
Yeah,
I'm over that.
He's mean.
So that leads me into wanting to talk about fan pet peeves. So we know that OnlyFans is kind of a platform where there are no limitations for the most part, which can kind of open up the floor for fans to kind of get crazy and feel a little entitled.
Yes.
I noticed that like a lot of my fans, you know, since both of our pages are free to subscribe, a lot of fans will really expect like free content.
Yeah.
And it's like, not only is it like so unattractive and disrespectful, but it's like, this is my full-time job.
Yeah.
So if you are a locksmith, I'm not going to call you and say, hey, I need you to come unlock my car for free. No, I'm going to pay you because that's your job. That's how you put food on your table.
Yes.
I think that when it comes to sex work, people think that it's just, you know, this easy gig, that should be free, and it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know why people have that idea in their heads. Does that happen to you?
All the time. Literally yesterday, this guy messaged me and was like, I want to see you be dominated by a black guy. So I sent So I was like, okay, put together a little bundle for him, sent it. He goes, I can't get a preview.
Ew.
What do you mean? I blocked him. He hadn't bought any of my other shit either.
Yeah, and it's like,
Ew.
show me that you're a fan. Show me that you support what I do. Like, I can't tell you how many guy friends that subscribe to my OnlyFans just to support me. Like, they purchase the videos and they don't even watch it.
I love that.
Yeah, because it's like,
where do you
they
meet these
know
friends?
I went to school with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 of them. And
wow.
that goes such a long way. Like, even if it's just a $5 video or a $10 video, like, it's the thought.
100%.
You know? Yeah, that in that free shit, like, I don't know where you get, like, what could you possibly be thinking of in your head when you ask someone and you know, it's even worse, like, when it's somebody, like, a potential interest, because it's so hard for me to date anyone.
Yeah.
And I don't date. But if I spark interest in someone and they know, like, that I do OnlyFans, because I'm very upfront about it, I don't ever try to hide that I do OnlyFans. And they say things like, oh, let me get a video. It's like, that turns me off immediately.
100%.
Like, you know, it's different when they're like, oh, where can I find the content? And I let them know, like, hey, this is my OnlyFans. They subscribe. I love that.
Yeah.
But when you get to, you know, meeting people that really feel like they're entitled to your content, that's just disgusting, I think.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to this guy for a while, and he was talking about coming and visiting me in Austin and all this. And then we were talking about, it was when we were in California for that Palm Springs trip. And he was like, well, what kind of content do you make? And I told him, I was like, I'm not hiding anything. This is what I make. And then it was like dry ass conversations after that.
Yeah.
And I was like, when are you coming to Austin? He was like, I don't have a reason to go to Austin. I might go to Houston to visit some fucking gyms. What? I hope you're listening. And I was just like, I don't think I ever texted him back. That was that screenshot I sent you.
Yeah. That's so... It just gives me, like, little dick energy.
Yeah.
Like, I just cannot wait, because I know it'll happen, to find that person that is, like, so on board with what I do.
Yeah.
And they just really encourage me to do what I want with my life, and we can still be happy on our own. You know, because you have to be happy as an individual before you can be happy with anyone else.
Yeah, you know what I want is just someone I can, like, make content with and, like, travel with.
Yeah.
And just, like, live happily ever after.
And then look, as soon as people hear that, they're going to be in your DM. Like, I can travel with you, I can make content with you, but you don't know shit about this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand that you say that, but if you were put, like, in that actual predicament, it might be different.
Yeah.
And I think that I've you know, fantasized about a future with, you know, different people, and it doesn't come to pass because they cannot handle the lifestyle.
They can't.
You travel too much. You film too much. You know, and it's like,
this is my job.
You know, is it like, am I too much for you, or are you just not enough for me?
I think it's the second one.
Yeah, I absolutely do too. Because you see, like, I see girls in this industry, guys in this industry that have very successful relationships with people who support them, and it's very few and far between.
Yeah.
But I have seen it. So it's like, I know that it's a possibility.
I don't think I know anyone personal, like, that has a good relationship.
I do. Yeah, you do.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They were in Palm Springs.
Okay.
We'll discuss it later.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's very possible, I believe, and it'll happen when the time is right. But sometimes I do get a little lonely.
Yeah.
And then I just call you.
And I'm never doing shit, so I'm answering.
Yeah, we are very much homebodies. When we step out, it is absolutely a big deal because it never happens.
And it's usually a disaster.
Yeah.
Should we talk about that?
We can discuss it. So the last time Emily and I went out...
Was it like a month ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a month ago. We went to this club, and I don't think that we had it in our heads that we were going to drink a lot. That wasn't the plan.
We were just going to get dinner.
Okay.
Well, and go to the Domain to look for daddies.
Yeah. So we ended up leaving the Domain after we took a few shots. You had drinks, I had shots.
Yeah, I can't do shots.
We went to the strip club, and I had more shots there. I think you took a shot with me there. And then I had got a message from this guy on Instagram, and he saw that I was at the Domain, and he was like, hey, I'm in Austin. We should link up. I was fucking drunk.
Yeah.
I don't normally say, oh, yeah, let's link up. But, bitch, I was drunk. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's link up. Like a fucking dumb bitch. No, it was totally a dumb bitch move.
We were meeting in public. It'd be different if you're like, come over right now.
Okay. Whatever. You're giving me the benefit of the doubt. So thank you.
I was there too.
So I go back to the Domain from the strip club to meet this guy. And he had with him someone that was one of my Onlyfans subscribers. That caught me completely off guard because never would I meet, a fan in that setting.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, my eyes got really wide and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I just looked at you and I said, ask that guy his name. And if it's Devin, we need to leave.
Yep. I remember
and
that.
In fact, his name was Devin. It was exactly who I thought it was. I don't even like to say his name. Shout out Devin Booker.
Oh.
But this Devin was fucked up. Okay.
Oh wait, that's a different Devin.
Yeah, Devin Booker is a basketball player.
I don't keep up with that. I'm sorry.
Go to his
Booker.
IG. Go to his IG.
I'm lost.
So, anyways, I was drunk, like I said, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I was hitting it off with this dude that DM'd me. And I was like, you know what? You can come back to my apartment. I had Emily with me, so I knew that I wasn't alone.
And we were like three-way kissing in the club. So
yeah,
I was like,
we were all
I'm
making
down.
out. He was fine as fuck.
He was cute.
And I was like, yeah, y'all can come to my apartment. So they all come to my apartment, and I'm laying in the bed with this dude that I was hitting it off with. And Devin, the fucking OnlyFans dude, comes in my room, shuts the door behind him, and looks me dead in the face, bitch, and was like, how much to fuck you right now?
Dude, yeah.
I looked at him and I said, I am not a prostitute. Mm-hmm. Like, if that's your hustle, that's your hustle. But, bitch, I'm not a prostitute. Mine. So I told him, there is not any amount of money you could pay me right now. You need to get the fuck out of my room and shut the door behind you. He kicks my ring light over. Mind you, I
forgot about that
I have
part.
a huge ring light, bitch. It's like this big.
Yeah, like as big as a person.
Yeah, and he kicks my ring light over, leaves my room, shuts the door. And I look at this dude next to me and I'm like, he's weird as fuck. Why are you hanging out with him? Why is he with you? You know what I'm saying? Because you're like cool and he's weird.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, don't mind him, whatever. And I was like, you know what? Fuck that dude. Let's make content.
Yeah.
My mind was on the money, bitch.
Yeah, as it should be.
And I go out in the kitchen to get my phone because I wanted to record, and my phone is gone. And this phone is my life. My work is on here. Everything is on here. You know what I'm saying? So when I lose this, I lose everything. So we're looking in my apartment all over, no phone. We were looking for what, 2 or 3 hours?
A while. And mind you, while she's still in the room and I'm outside with I'm in the living room with the other guy, and I'm like looking at DoorDash trying to order food. And the Devin guy comes up to me and just grabs my ass and is like, how much to fuck? And I like turned around and I was like, don't fucking touch me. I never gave you any signs that I wanted to do that shit with you.
Right.
Just don't be disrespectful just because of what I do. You think you can just come up in here and grab my ass, all that shit. And then. Okay,
and then. So that's when I came out and started looking for my phone. And it was not there. We had looked, and it kind of occurred to me like, oh, this dude got so mad that I didn't want to fuck him that he has my phone and he's keeping it from me. Mm-hmm. So I look at him and I say, where's my phone? And at this point, I'm seeing right through him. Like, he's like transparent. He's like, I don't have it. I'm like, yeah, you do. Mm-hmm. You have it. I know you have it. So just give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't ever let people in my home, and the one time I did, I was stolen from.
Yep.
And it just kind of was confirmation to like not let people in my house.
You can't trust people.
And he eventually left in an Uber when we were still looking for my phone. You ended up finding my phone.
I found it on like the other, like across from her balcony, across the street. Like
right.
He had definitely, I think he threw it down off the balcony and then went and set it somewhere to hide it.
Right.
Because where it landed was not like from the balcony.
Yeah. And he didn't know. So he was a commander in the Army. He was a captain. He didn't know that I had military experience. And I told him, I said, if you don't find my phone in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to let your chain of command know that you came over to my house, stole from me, and sexually harassed my friend. And you will be freaking reprimanded from the military. And as soon as I said all that, he was like, I got to go in an Uber and leave, you know? And it's just like, that's another reason why, you know, you have to be so careful in this industry, is because people really will get crazy with you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another reason why it's not easy to be a sex worker or whatever you want to call it.
Also the ring light.
He stole my ring light.
How the fuck did he get out of your house with a ring light?
I
don't know. Because we were going up and down the stairs, like, for 30 minutes at least, like, trying to look for her phone in the car, in the house. And she goes, my ring light's gone. And I was
he
like,
stole
bitch,
that
what?
shit. Just, guys, be careful, like, who you surround yourself with and who you allow in your presence, because that shit is so, it's like a cancer. If you let the wrong people around you, it can really fuck up
or
a whole lot of shit.
Or even in your home. Like, that just gets
like,
dangerous.
That energy, it's just terrible.
It's horrible.
It's not worth it.
It's not it.
Mm-mm.
Not what
the
I'm
last
here for.
point that I kind of want to cover before we close is, how did OnlyFans change your life?
I think for me, when I lived in San Marcos, I like had no money. I was depressed. I had no money.
Yeah.
I got like an eviction notice at one apartment. figured that out. The next apartment, my roommate who was in school, I wasn't even in school, I was dancing.
Yeah.
So she had to lend me like $200 of her parents' money to pay my rent. Just like, I had no money.
Right.
And I don't know. Even dancing, I didn't make that much money because I would go there and just sit in like a booth and lay down.
Yeah.
Like, I did not want to talk. So I just feel like Onlyfans has changed my life drastically. Just
being able to be financially free is something that I've never really gotten to
No,
experience until
me
this
either.
point, because, you know, making my career prior to this was in the military, and you don't make a lot of money in the military, especially like as a lower enlisted soldier. Like I was probably making like $30,000 a year.
Wow, that's really surprising.
And, you know, trying to take care of a child, and being able to afford like life, that wasn't cutting it for me.
Yeah.
Just for me, it wasn't. I'm aware that some people can live on that, but for me, it wasn't. Okay. And I knew,
No.
I was like, you know what? I am so much better than this.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to wake up every day and wonder how my rent is going to get paid, or wonder how my car is going to get paid.
Yeah.
Like, that's a terrible feeling. And I know
really
that
is.
like, it's a feeling that some people know all too well. You know, people,
They get used to it.
well, they get used to it, but they also like don't realize that they can come out of it. You know, some people grow up in poverty and they literally just feel like they have to live that way forever.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you don't. Like,
Yeah.
I was in crack houses from the time I was newborn to 3 years old. Like, it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters like how you change it.
Yeah.
How you respond to the adversity that life throws at you is what really determines your character. And, you know, people probably look at people like us and they're like, oh, well, they're just, you know, sluts online that are just blah, blah, blah. But it's like, call it what you will.
But we're making good money.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
why does it matter? I don't get why it bothers so many people. I really don't.
yeah. And if it doesn't directly affect you,
We're not hurting anybody.
yeah, not hurting anyone.
We're pleasuring a lot of people.
Oh, not your man.
Who?
Whoever's listening.
Oh, I was like, I don't have a man. Bitch, I wish.
But I have a lot of fans that are couples. Like,
I don't know if I do.
And then when I was dancing, that was a thing. Like, a lot of couples
Yes.
wanted me to come into the
In
cabanas
VIP
and stuff.
rooms. Oh, yeah.
I was like, damn, like, couples have a thing for me for sure.
Yeah, like the
For
men like to, for
sure.
sure, Mary Beth. But like the men like to watch you on their like bitch,
Yeah.
their girl. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting.
I am very pleased with this conversation.
Me too. It was a good one.
I love to just come on here and talk about things and just totally be uncensored and unemployed. We will catch you guys on episode 3. Once again, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank y'all.
And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.